this is a little awkward, because this wasn't planned.
No.
Last night we were doing a one shot, kind of just like a test game. We wound up having our other Star Wars game. We were doing a test game one shot, and just by virtue of I don't know why, it kind of became a Doug one shot. It wasn't planned. We weren't there. It was Kevin and Pierce and Jeremy, and everyone's name was Doug. And they found all the monsters were named Doug. One of the monsters was a gnome eating pork chops.
It was the worst.
That was the most vile.
There's a lot of Dougs. Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome to Civilized Age. My name's Philip. I'm the Cosmic Force. We are live now, by the way. I just wanted to say that on stream to Millie, just to own up to a bad thing that we did not by design.
No, it happened because Kevin had just named himself Doug for that night. And then I thought it would be funny if I named my character Doug. And then Jeremy named his character Doug.
It would be very funny. It would be Doug funny.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
and then Jeremy and then Kevin became Douglas. And then every enemy we fought became Doug, and more of it just became referencing the show.
Well, you know what they say though. One in Bluffington.
This is a Star Wars game we run. This is a game called Civilized Age. My name is Philip, as I said. Surrounding me are the players. I would say hello to the players, but there's so much going on. Lauren's frame has multiple people in it and a lot of stuff. I think Lauren was not properly warned that I was going live, so I apologize for that. But in fairness, it's kind of funny to do it this way. It's a Monday tradition.
Tradition.
Oh man, if I can sing Fiddler. If you want.
I've actually never seen Fiddler.
Oh.
Matchmaker, make
You're
me
like-
sing a match.
You're like less Jewish now, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
of that
yeah.
statement.
Part of my circumcision grew back.
Whoa.
I think the word you were looking for there was foreskin.
No, I think he said what he meant to say.
Like right now it's a pun skin.
my circumcision is growing back.
This is a.
Well, if everyone would like to, if everyone out there
We need to rewind this back.
in Twitch land. Oh my God! Oh man, is it like in Hamilton? It's like rewind, and then you could do and then it could be the thing where she's like, "I'm a girl in the world in which my only job is to marry rich." Yeah, my father has no sons, so I'm the one who has to social climb for
When
work.
she
And
actually
the
had a
wittiest
bunch of
gossip
brothers.
in New York City is insidious, and Alexander is penniless. That
And
I mean,
stop
if you want to
being
really
honest.
get into the inaccuracies of that, literally every positive viewpoint Hamilton has in that show is actually a viewpoint of Aaron Burr. Everything that was good that Hamilton believed in that show is actually something Aaron Burr believed in Alexander Hamilton.
You don't have to.
Don't ruin musical theater for me,
You
Pierce.
don't have to just be. We get that you listen to podcasts, but you don't have to be contrarian every time. You can
Are they
just say
podcasts or are they video essays?
Sometimes
Hamilton.
yes, sometimes no.
Hamilton. Yeah, it seems like maybe that show doesn't make that much sense as a thing to have done.
It's just if it's something that is based off of like a very flawed biography as your only source, you're gonna run into some problems.
Yeah. What is this game? It's been 3 weeks since we've played this. So much has happened.
It's been a while.
We had a week off, and then I ran 7 horror games in a row.
I don't even remember. All I know is my kids are still missing.
Yeah. So basically, for you and Train, there's been no Delta Zero. Nothing has changed.
Look,
Well, you have fancier coffee now.
yeah,
I do.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
That is true.
I'm thankful
You
for
do
that,
have
you know?
fancy coffee. You have fancy coffee from a
Okay,
guy named.
You know what? I don't need to find my kids anymore. I'm good with the coffee.
They got you coffee called Kiss of the Core from a man named Tendon Mo.
Sophia, I need you to not say things like that.
Uh-oh. What was said? Children are turning into Siths. I mean, it could be.
No.
No, they wouldn't be Siths, I think, at this part. They're probably called something else now.
They're called Bogons.
Yeah, there
We
you
have
go.
to do our what was Elbrand doing recap?
Well, it sounds like they might be called part of the Legions of Latau.
What was Elbrand doing? I think Elbrand was probably
Just being the best guy.
he he basically he did a thing where he told some families that he was gonna like take them out for a nice day, and he took them to the park, and then when they got home, droids had redone their whole house as a redecorated, like a renovations and stuff. He does a lot of stuff like that. He
sucks.
You know, the main thing that Elbrand did that makes him an amazing man is that he listened. He listened to a lot of people. Women especially. He would ask women, "How are you?" and then he would let them talk, and he wouldn't he would just let them say things, and he wouldn't just automatically say, "Here's the solution to your problem."
Yeah, it's listening and then using words that aren't mansplaining. Words are also important. But it's because it's you listened to what they say. Yeah.
Does the dishes without expecting anything in return, just because they need to be done. Yeah. He programmed a droid, actually.
But sometimes
the droid's doing the dishes. Then it's not him. It's not him doing the droid.
But sometimes he says.
Well, he really
sometimes
he
says,
be there to help with the dishes. So he was like, you know what? When I'm not here,
Just want to know what Elbrand is atoning for. That's all.
nothing.
Nothing. He's perfect.
You know what Elbrand's atoning
That doesn't exist. Or he's a robot.
No, what he's atoning for
Hey,
is
fully functional.
He I don't think he would describe it as atoning, but what he's atoning for is the huge degree of privilege that he was born into. It's not atoning, but it's just something that he recognizes, and he thinks it's very important to instill.
He's gonna be the first to the guillotine.
No. It wouldn't even. The guillotine would refuse. The blade would fall and say, "Wait a second, mob, you finally made one mistake."
First one ever.
Oh, Elbrand's brunt. What a cool guy.
Sucks. He's the fucking worst.
Oh my god. He's a really nice guy. He also does a thing where he'll just kind of pick up the tab, but he doesn't make a big deal about it. Anyway, so you guys, when last we journeyed with you all, let's do a recap here. Everyone was here our last session, yes, because three of you made the decision to leave the ship and go do shenanigans. Now, there is an interesting thing. So basically, you have made it into the Pimbrellan Empire. You are aboard both the Count's Vigor, as well as the 39 Steps. And the 39 Steps is, of course, being piloted by Fujola Gavam, because you guys were too cool for Jacket Girl.
Travesty.
You landed on a planet. You made it into the Pimbrellan Empire, which is basically what you paid this one for, and this one's going to sort of escort you to the planet you're going to Exocron. You made it to a first planet, though, to a planet called Galtea, an agrarian world, kind of towards the edge of the Cathol outback. And upon reaching that, naturally, given all of the sort of tension and stress between Zell and Abriel, the kind of the weird feelings of Mara and Arturito, just all of this craziness, naturally, Zell, R2, and Mara were like, cool, we're gonna go shopping in town. And as Abriel tapped her foot so hard, it actually loosened a floor plate aboard the ship. You guys went in. R2 purchased purchased a little hover unit, some hover panels, so he can't fly, but he can. It's really good for the muddy streets because we are in Disney Star Wars era, and no matter what, if it's a Disney Star Wars, the streets are made of mud.
They went to town on that in Tales of the Jedi, just doubled down, not in muddy, but just deeply rutted and wet streets everywhere.
Really lacking the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why don't they have proper adequate drainage?
I don't know. It's because I understand that people are like, well, you don't need roads.
Actually,
when your cars all hover. It's like,
Yeah.
what? But your walking isn't hover.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think maybe we're underselling this. Maybe this is like a meta commentary, right, about how the rich control everything, because the rich have their speeder bikes and their speeders, so they don't have to deal with the rutted roads. Only the poors who have to walk, and the non-humans like droids.
Yeah,
have to deal with
Disney notoriously making social commentary.
Yeah,
Elbrand does take a lot of like mission trips to like colonies where he installs roads. He's like, hey everybody, do we have a well? We have water? Okay, great. Then I'm going to give you the other thing you need, which is a road, so you can walk without a... And then people are like, oh my god, you're amazing. And then people will be like, hey, can we sleep with you? And he'll say, actually, I'm in a relationship. But that is very flattering.
Oh god, he is the absolute fucking worst.
And it's so cool because you know what no one has ever gotten off of him? It's like a gross vibe. Ever. Never. Not once. He has never liked a single HoloNet post in the middle of the night where it's like, oh, that's shady. No.
Okay, maybe no one's ever gotten a gross vibe of him, but that doesn't stop Train from being sickened by him.
It's fine. And you know what? He actually kind of understands and feels it's like Train is like having a very natural reaction.
You guys would have been great friends had it not been this
God.
situation.
Absolutely not.
So
He would have bought a bunch of art off of you just to be like,
that would have been so suck-uppy. I don't want a sycophant in my life.
On the money-streeted planet of Galtea, in this sort of unnamed, from an unnamed person, because whatever, it was just a person in a shop. You don't know the name of every single person in a shop, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
You purchased a protocol droid in exchange for some fancy artwork. The droid's name is, after some retconning, is J33V35. Mara immediately started calling him Jeeves, on account of that's what I built it to be. Oh my god. You purchased Jeeves. Jeeves seemed to not care if he was purchased by you. Jeeves is kind of very indifferent, being that he's a droid. This was not sort of fully cleared by Abriel and Train. You also did get some coffee for Abriel. The droid saw the Count's vigor, said somebody's compensating for something, and with that, you guys got aboard and were setting out to Benaros, which is where Fujola said would be your best refueling point. And Zell realized, kind of as you guys flew away, that Ratok was no longer aboard this ship. He slipped away, and in fact, I think on the... Oh yeah, as you guys were coming back, you saw a... It was on the previous planet. You saw multiple footprints go and not enough come back, and you realized that on that planet...
We realized that Jesus was walking with them.
Yeah. Jesus dug 2 graves. So basically, as you realized that Ratok had fled, you actually even saw a ship like fly off, and you sort of realized that is what he had done from was it on that? I'm sorry, I can't.
It was on the planet we were just at.
It was on Galtea. Yes, because he got to you on Utapau. Yeah. Okay, so, you saw a ship leave as you were walking back, and you realized that he got out of there. Yes, Abriel and Train. Okay, sorry. For some reason, I thought it was the planet before. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Cool. It's a thing that makes sense. And then, of course, we ended with a scene of Rana and Revel in a hut doing lessons for teacher. And then Arden Lynn showed up. And in the recap, I know I've already done a word for the day today, but I used another word. I used a word of 3 weeks ago of the day, which was maturturally, which means in an ant-like fashion, or an aunt-like fashion, not an ant-like fashion. Because like avuncular means like an uncle, but apparently maturturally means like an aunt would do.
I
Maturturally.
don't know the English language as well as I thought I did.
Well, you don't need, these are not words.
That was English?
these aren't words that people need to know. I'm gonna put it into chat here. There's Masher.
I mean, it's all either German or Latin anyway, so.
So actually, there's a not tiny portion of French in there.
Mater
Yeah, but French is all Latin anyway.
But we've stolen from a lot of places.
Fine. I just a smidgen of Arabic in there.
You know, interestingly, in Japanese, they have a whole other alphabet for like transplanted words.
They do.
Which effectively is just you saying that word with a Japanese accent, like hamburger. Right, like they use a whole different alphabet for all these imported words, basically. It's fascinating. Sorry,
Sure.
go ahead. I guess we should play Star Wars.
Oh, is that why we're here?
Anyway, Arden Lynn touched the kids, accidentally hurt one of your children. The kid was like, ow. And she's like, oh, sorry. When I touch people, that happens. And she made some reference to it's time to bring him back. And teacher was like, yeah, sure, let's do that. No one knows what that's about, except for Pierce.
Stressful.
With all of that in mind, we said, and Pierce has a shirt. Did you show everyone what your shirt is for the day? Because Lauren rolled 2 shenanigans. That being said, Lauren.
What?
We're going to begin here. Aboard the Count's Vigor, as you guys are heading sort of off of this planet. You are preparing to make the jump to light speed to get to these hyperlanes through this very kind of like I mean you're going out really far away basically because you're basically going into the Outback, but then you have to cross the Markle Void, so you are actually entering a region of space that is utterly empty. It's kind of eerie. According to a source book from the 90s, it's supposed to take you 14 days to travel just from in utter blackness, but it's 600 years later. Your ships are a little faster, whatever. It's fine. So, but as you settle in for sort of a long trip, Abrielle, out of game, Lauren, you know that you do have to go to one more shenanigans on your stop.
Yeah.
That's what was rolled. But when you rolled that, something was different. You
were a meaner person and now you're nice. You've repented to the Lord.
Nope, that's not it. I don't have to tell you what it is. That's fine. Let's just play.
No, we're not. What was it?
Well, there's another being on your ship right now, who is a protocol droid who's an expert in the Pimbrellan Empire.
Okay.
So anyway, as Jeeves is sort of here, kind of looking around, kind of watching R2, Mara sits down. Jeeves, looks at like some kind of like vaguely erotic sculpture, one of the ones Train hasn't sold yet, and just kind of just kind of looks about. Train, as you're sort of setting the controls. Abrielle, if there's anything you'd like to ask or do or say, you're welcome to.
So is Abrielle now aware that he specializes? I'm sorry, it's been a long time and I forgot.
No, they just all you know is that they bought a protocol droid, and you guys were like pulling comms off of walls to like yell at each other, and everyone picked up comms. And you did speak to this being.
I do remember that.
And basically he sort of indicated to you. You said, "Why the hell are you guys buying a protocol droid?" He said, No, you do know because he told you.
Right.
I'm not useful unless you care about etiquette and culture of even the most obscure worlds of the Pimbrellan Empire. And you said, we don't, and handed the thing back. But you look at it and you remember that. I'll tell you what, Abrielle, let's just get to where I'm trying to get to for you to maybe do something that will help you.
It's been a long month.
I get it.
It's only the 7th of November.
Just make a coordinate has to do with you understanding what people's skills are. Make a coordinate roll.
Okay.
By the way, Jeeves, that sculpture you're looking at, it's called the Carking of Tatooine.
How revolting.
36, which is a hard success.
So basically, Jeeves says, how revolting, and that reminds you, revolting, he's using fancy words. Oh, right, he's a protocol droid. Oh, right, he knows about all these planets here. Do you want me to say more, or do you get what I'm implying?
No, I'm trying to think of what.
Sure.
Okay. Mara, what are we calling him?
Jeeves.
Fine. Jeeves, I have some questions that I would like to ask you about the Pimberlin Empire.
Oh, well, I suppose I am a logical choice for such inquiries.
Yes, no need for formalities either, but have you heard of the planet Exo?
Exo.
Yes.
Actually, I will roll to see if he's ever heard of Exo. Ah, a mythical planet sought by various cults, mystics, individuals who believed there was a world beyond the edges of the galaxy.
And as far as you know, have there been any cults or anyone who has successfully found this planet?
No reports would indicate such individuals have found the world in question.
Would you be able to navigate us to the spot where it is rumored to be, at least within mythology? Could you create a map?
No. I have no knowledge of specific theories. It was more of a ghost planet. Its location itself was the sought after mystery.
And when you were serving any seekers of this mythical planet, did you hear any information that might be helpful for others who might be looking for it?
No. I am not an expert in you get the sense, I won't keep role-playing this, it doesn't seem like the droid knows about that.
I was gonna give up, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to help you get to with this droid?
No!
Okay, that's fine. If you want to avoid shenanigans, maybe ask the droid what planets to refuel on where there's not going to be shenanigans.
I was trying to get my kids!
I
I'm not worried
understand.
about
Abriel,
refueling.
as usual, straight to give me my kids. Droid, do you have my kids?
Open up, droid. Are my kids inside your body?
Your kids are not here.
Okay,
I'll say that the droid will. He has no knowledge of where it is. He does say the name Demos Nakoth, which is a name that you've heard before, someone who was seeking it. So the idea that also ties you that the idea of this guy who came to Exocron was looking for the planet.
Okay.
And he doesn't mention any specific cults, as it was like various people or subgroups were looking for Exocon.
Okay, well, if we were looking to refuel, what planets could we stop by that would not cause us any issues? And I'll glance over at Mara.
To reach what is your destination? Oh, Exocron is your destination.
Right. Okay, thank you. Exocron.
Oh, Exocron. That is a very obscure world. Very strange customs and culture. I did not realize you were interested in such obscure destinations. To reach Exocron, from Galtea, one could refuel at Binaros, and then perhaps at Ukabis. But I would recommend going a bit further than Benaros, taking a different route from Timbraot to refuel at Jangel. At the current time, it is a much safer locale. Much lower chance of shenanigans.
Train, what do you think?
I think whatever's gonna be the easiest. I look at Zell and Mara Jade and R2, and then back at Abriel. Whatever's gonna be the easiest is gonna be the best.
You never know what kind of information we could find in another one of these places, but
We're going to a place that no one knows about. We're not going to find any information there.
We just found Jeeves.
To your credit, we do have more information. We don't need to go exploring anymore for any more information. We've got a valuable thing here. I will give you that. However, we are not doing any more explorations of random planets We have a goal. The goal is to find our children. And then,
After we find kids, we can explore as much as we want to.
shenanigan across the galaxy. I don't care.
Probably want to find him before the lunatic that you brought along with us, too.
Thank you, Zell.
Noted, Zell.
Forgot about that.
Jeeves is just like listening to all of this. I have to think that Jeeves has some kind of like eye covering, like you know, so you
That
can
look
make
like big
facial
eyebrows?
expressions. Yeah, like. So Jeeves says, "Yes, Jengel is a simple planet, well maintained. It is very easy to refuel. There are even orbital stations. But it is also simple enough to go down, spend an hour or two, and return. Benaros is a collection of small islands around the equator of a young planet, still mostly water. There are often disagreements upon who is in control of these islands.
Well,
It's a
we
good
don't want to
place
get in the middle of any
get caught up
conflicts.
in intrigue.
Okay.
So if you want to, you can reach out to Fujola and inform her that you'd rather stop at this planet than that one.
What kind of currency does that planet take? Because that's kind of been a thing everywhere we've
All
gone.
of these planets will be using the Pimbrellan ducat.
Okay.
But I'm sure...
We'll just sell that art piece that's right there.
Yes, the
That'll be good.
carking of Tatooine. I'm sure that on either Jengel or Benaros, you can find someone interested in such lascivious sculpture.
Yeah. All right.
You
So
said you
y'all
were trying
will,
to find children? You're going to bring them aboard a ship with such artwork on display?
Thank you, Jeeves.
Thank you, Jeeves.
We don't need your commentary on anything that we aren't inquiring about, so.
Oh, of course. Forgive me. I've upset the organics. Perhaps they'll melt me down.
They're just like that, Jeeves.
So they won't melt me down?
Nah.
What a shame. So, if you contact Fujola, who would like to contact Fujola?
I'll do it.
All right, Train.
I'll just come over here.
Yes, is everything all right? Do you have a problem with our coordinates?
The droid we have has informed us that there might be some better options in terms of keeping the circus in check.
The circus in check, I am not sure I understand what this means. Is circus a ship component of yours that I'm unfamiliar with?
No. Just in terms of managing the extracurricular activities that certain people aboard my vessel might get up to.
Oh, okay, I understand. Well, Benaros is a planet that I am under the impression will be a very simple thing. I have several contacts there, so we will be able to refuel and find my contacts and get more information moving forward. They can perhaps tell us more about Exokron, the planet we're trying to reach.
Okay.
But you wish to go to a different world than this?
Yeah. What was the name of the one that
Jungel.
Jungel. Yeah. Are you familiar with Jungel?
I see it aboard a map. I know nothing about it. I have no contacts there.
This droid seems to think that that will be a smoother transfer.
Well, it is your as I guess we say in this part of the galaxy, Pimbrellan ducat. So yes, we can go there if you would prefer. Perhaps some of my contacts can communicate with me over simple transmission.
If that's possible, that'd be great. Thank you for your help with that.
Okay. So Fujola will not push the issue. You can make a psychology roll, Train. You're not good at those, so. Oh wait.
32 success.
32 success. Oh, I thought you had a way higher of that. I'm sorry. That's your wife has a
No.
high psychology roll. No, she doesn't. Wait. Who am I thinking of? Oh, no, she does. Never mind.
I do.
That's how she always knows you're lying. So
Why
basically...
did you call me his wife?
Ex-wife. You guys are still married in some systems. It's still on the books. Train. You definitely get the sense that... you get the sense that Fujola is trying to do some additional business to what you're up to. Fujola's not just here for your purposes. So Fujola was like trying to get you to go to Benaros a bit out of the way because she probably had some contacts there. You know, she was gonna maybe get some other things set up. It's that kind of situation.
Okay, I'll just kind of then I'll just like just text message her over. We can stop there on the way, or I guess before she we can stop there on the way back. This seems like it might get us there a little more quickly.
Understood. It is your call, of course. So with that, perfect. So with that, several days pass as you guys cross a section of space called the Markle Void. R2.
This is a question for Train, actually. Is there like do we have hollow chests on the Count's figure?
Oh yeah, of course. It's one of those things that we're required to like entertain people if they come aboard.
Then Marjade, do you want to play hollow chess with me for like 4 days?
Absolutely.
So as they play Dejarek, the droid sits there. Let's see. Just feel like we're all tired. My brain's not working. Does anybody want to ask? I understand that Abriel asked some questions about Exo. That's a logical thing to ask about, but he doesn't know. He's heard of it, and he confirmed that it was like a mystical planet. That people, including that one Demistikoth guy who founded Exokron, where that does exist and you're going to. Are there any other planets maybe that anyone would like to ask Jeeves about? In the 4 days.
I don't know.
Okay.
My brain is dead.
It's okay.
Yeah.
R2.
Did we find beyond like the knowledge of like this section of the galaxy that was enshrouded by that we found near that cult? Did we find anything like any iconography or any symbols or anything like that? I can't remember.
I'm gonna say that because you rolled such an amazing fumble there, any iconography you burned and cut apart. So yes, you
Well then, I will just ask a very simple question to Jeeves.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jeeves, we found this Griffin cult a little whiles back on this. I forget the name of the Karking planet, but they had a map made out of Karking thread. But the Pembrellan Empire was just shrouded.
Indeed.
Any Griffin cults that you know about?
Yes. They are probably Pinicists. Some call them
Pinicists.
Penicists. But
Penicists.
I believe most prefer the pronunciation Pinicist. On this ship,
There is another
probably-
art piece in here
Yes.
called the Penicist.
I would imagine aboard this vessel, they will be referred to as the Penicists. They practice penicism. Oh, what a dark galaxy we live in.
So what's the Shabir's deal?
They believe that they are meant to sit affairs of the galaxy out behind the shroud of this empire they've built. Their goals are to be ever vigilant for when a great event alters the state of the galaxy. There are sects among the Pinicists who believe that they missed this chance. Hundreds of years ago, during the fall of the Republic, the rise of the Empire, the fall of the Empire, the reign of the New Republic, the very brief, weirdly brief reign of the First Order, and then...
I'm sorry,
all that has
the what?
followed.
Oh, sorry. Right, First Order. Sorry.
Yes.
In like the grand scheme of things, they're like a carking blip. So
Sure.
I forgot they existed.
I understand. Really weren't around for very long.
Okay.
So
they're just kind of like carking watchers.
to an extent, I have never had the displeasure of serving a master who was a Pinacist.
All right.
Where do we find them?
Oh, they are rather prominent throughout the Empire. Many of the early founders of the Pimbrellan Empire who established from the Primbellan League were Pinacists. But it is not a compulsory religion, nor particularly widespread any longer. As I said, many of its adherents believed that they might have missed their chance. So, they now.
Are they at Exocron?
Oh, Exocron. An excellent question. No, Exocron is a rather different world. I was wondering if anyone was going to ask me about that, this mysterious planet you're all going to. Exocron is a planet that is incredibly difficult to access. I have been there once. You must fly at sublight speeds through a vast and treacherous cloud of gas. Upon reaching the world, you find a planet of astonishing natural beauty. It is understandable that Demos Nakoth might have thought he found Exo when he reached Exocron. As such, the planet for centuries engaged in a practice of archaic technology. No light speed travel was permitted within the system, and in fact, on the planet itself, they still to this day primarily use airships, and they don't use any hover technology of any kind. There's a purposefully thing. You're hearing it almost sounds Amish. But like flashy Amish.
This might seem like a Yasbo-like question, but like, what's the Karking Road situation like there then?
The roads. The roads. Using various carriages and wheeled vehicles are immaculately paved with the beautiful stones from the planet's mines.
Was the best criffing news I've gotten yet on this entire criffing venture.
I don't know why. Didn't you literally just have hover pads installed so that it was no longer an issue for you?
Right, but I'm still a little, admittedly still a little shaky on those. New thing, you know?
So Exocron has nothing to do with Exo?
Well, they do share 3 letters of the Orabesh in common. I could not sit my... Actually, I'll roll a history on this to see if it's where. Yeah, that's a 10. Jeeves will say, Demos Nakoth ventured to Exocron aboard a vessel called the Exocross Cabal. My understanding was that Exocron was named for this vessel, but as Demos Nakoth sought Exo, it is likely that the vessel's name was, in part, indicating its ultimate target.
But we... I don't know.
I understand. It has been a long journey. You're all going stir crazy. If you don't mind me, I'm just going to go stare at the wall for a few hours. That will be more engaging than trying to speak to these strange organics. The droid kind of just shifts over to a wall and literally just stares at a wall.
I throw things at his back periodically.
As soon as you do it, he will turn around and say, "Or I will not stand at this wall. Very well. I'll leave this chamber." Just saunters around, comes into the cockpit, says, "Do you need any help flying?"
Thank you for the offer, but I think we got it under control up here.
I know that it is not you, for you were not present, although perhaps it is you, as it was your artwork that was sold, that was traded for me. Who is my master? Or am I simply meant to just answer to every being aboard this ship, including the incredibly antiquated astromech?
Well, I believe since it was my artwork, technically, that it was exchanged, it means that I am.
Very well. Just stands there, just
You can,
staring, like no, just nothing at all.
You can make yourself comfortable.
That
Can you
is literally
make
impossible. Oh, you're here. You are his wife, is that correct?
X?
That's why.
Yes.
Oh,
What?
you're his ex-wife.
Well-
Why haven't you changed your last name?
Easier for the kids, right?
That is a very personal question for
Well,
a droid to be.
I'm a protocol
Asking.
droid. It's important for me to ask these questions in private, so I do not embarrass you in front of public company. And if anyone tries to embarrass you, I can insult them. To draw
Can you
attention
insult-
away.
Can you insult Zell? Just any chance you get.
You wish for me to insult Master Zell?
Yes. Just any opportunity you get.
Very
But
well.
in the meantime, can you make calf?
I am perfectly capable of making calf.
I would love if you would.
Your ex-wife is asking me to make calf. Is this something you will permit? Or
Yeah,
do you
you
feel
can,
that she's had enough today? Based on her palpitations, I would think it is a possibility.
I'm not gonna get in the way of her calf. You can follow her requests and orders as long as they don't countermand anything I say.
Ah, understood. He kind of turns to Abriel and says, "Well, as his ex-wife, who has kept his last name to make things simpler for the children who are currently missing, I hope that that does not rub you the wrong way, knowing that your husband has told me not to obey you."
Ex-husband. And
forgive
he
me.
told you to obey me
Unless it countermands
unless it contradicts
his order.
what he says. At this juncture, we are pretty much in agreement of what's going on. So, go make me that calf.
Understood. Mrs. X Sadietel.
Oh,
He then walks out to make calf, and as he passes out of the, we'll say you two are in the cockpit, as he passes out, you hear him say, "Oh, thank goodness I have no olfactory sensors, or I would surely be passing out, because I can tell that this Keldor over here must stink like a Bithian spine turtle."
I mean,
That is some weak carking shab, my friend. We're gonna have to work on this.
can I change to train and go over to him and tell him to not make coffee
Sure.
or listen to Abriel?
Sure.
All right.
Make an illusion roll. And that's not one of your things. You'll have to spend some force points to do it.
That is a 20,
Which is,
an extreme.
well, it's better than the hard perception here, or it's better than the hard see through it he did. You sort of say, so you basically say that, and he says, "Oh, very well." So it's don't make calf, don't listen to Abriel. Okay, understood.
Sorry, go on.
So Abriel, you hear
how
the
long
sounds
would
of
it
calf.
take?
You hear the sounds of calf being made, and then you hear nothing.
Okay, I will go out to investigate. Are we advancing at all in this game?
You are.
We
We're
have
traveling.
We have shenanigans on the ship now. They don't
It's
have
better
to
on the
be
ship.
off the
That's
ship.
true.
That is
If
true.
if the kids are gonna drink, keep them on the ship. So Abrielle, you step out and Jeeves has put away all the calf stuff and is now just sort of standing, just kind
Jeeves.
of on one side.
What are you
Yes.
doing?
Oh, I am just standing here idly, watching this astromech and this human play Dejaric.
Can I see Zell?
Yeah,
I'm just back to me
Zell
now,
just looks like Zell at the other side of the room.
watching them play.
Why? Why didn't you bring the calf? I heard you making it.
Oh, your husband came and told me, or your
Ex-
ex-husband. Well, he told me, on second thought, don't make calf and don't do anything she says.
He was in the cockpit with.
I assure
Zell.
you, he said this to me.
Oh no, you have been tricked, my little droid. Zell
I
can
saw
turn
him come
into
out and do
people.
this too.
I have seen him do it to me. Okay, Jeeves, come on, and I'll like herd him back into the cockpit. And can I like close a? Is there a door?
Jeeves will
something?
go into the cockpit with you with some, he's saying like, you're pulling him, Jesus, like, you can't make me, I don't have to follow your orders.
I'll still push it. And I'll say, Train, guess who gave him orders to not obey anything I say and to discontinue making the calf that we had just done him out of here to make. Guess who?
You did, Master
Who?
Train.
You.
No, I didn't.
Uh-huh.
That was a jerk move, Train.
Just calling through the closed door. Go ahead. Yeah, Train, he'll just say, Master, are you feeling all right? I'm worried that the stress... Perhaps you should let the astromech pilot. I have a suspicion he's very good at it.
Look, if we get in a situation where we need it, I will. R2 can pilot then.
Understood.
I
Well,
like.
Perhaps
I can
you should...
also pilot the ship.
Perhaps you should... This is a very thin cockpit door. Perhaps you should take a rest, Master Train. You don't even remember the order that you gave me.
Jeeves,
not
that
for you
wasn't
to go.
him.
That Keldor out there can make illusions and change his appearance.
That is going to complicate things considerably.
Yeah, no duh, yeah. Are you beeping R2?
I'm just waiting. I just have to do while this is going on.
Oh, what are you up to? Yeah, you could be out of the... What are you doing outside?
Yeah, I've made a move, and while I'm making a move, and Mara's debating her next move, I'm just gonna go over and pour calf for Mara and Zell since it's ready, and bring it to them,
Rude.
All right.
and then come back to the table.
I love being a casual observer in this
I'm ready
entire
to
thing.
space
And
all
just
of them.
laugh.
He basically says, so what you're saying, Master Train, is that I can trust no one. Because you have a mischievous illusionist aboard your vessel. I assume this is a long-time friend who you trust implicitly and brought on such a sensitive mission.
No, this was someone whose true identity was not known to us when he was recommended to us by someone who I do not like.
Wow.
I say that looking at Abrielle.
Oh, is it your ex-wife's new boyfriend, I'm assuming?
Very
Yes.
astute observation.
At least you're a good protocol droid.
Yes. Well, it would be my programming then to may I see a picture of him? Do you have a holo of this gentleman?
No. I don't. She
Really?
wouldn't. She's not
Really?
that type. I don't. I never even carried a hollow of you, Train.
What?
I never did. Why would I? I know what you look like.
I carried a hollow of you.
That's your choice.
Hmm.
It's very sweet of you, but I don't need to do that to remember.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
in that case, Master Trade, it seems to me that you are much better off no longer being married to this individual. But if you want me to follow her orders when they do not countermand your own, I shall try to,
Yeah.
but understand that if someone who looks just like you and sounds just like you, and whom my senses indicate is you, gives me a command, I will follow it.
Should we think of a password or something?
Is there a way?
And I'll like whisper.
Could you? Okay, Phil, I have a question.
Hmm.
Is Zell's head with the breathing apparatus on bigger than my own?
Ooh.
Maybe a little bit. With the stuff, yeah, maybe it's a bit bulkier.
Look, if the order seems to go against everything you said, you could try and carefully rip off where a breathing apparatus might be and make that Keldor suffocate to death. Sure.
We can't risk him wasting time trying to do that to you if it's you giving him orders.
Fair, yeah, that's fine.
Can't you do a scan on us? Are you not equipped with that?
I can attempt to scan, but it seemed rather convincing.
Yes, I know. He
Hmm.
does that to irritate people.
Abriel, you smell calf. You smell that really good fancy calf.
I'm too mad. I'm
Well,
not going to go out there.
In that case, I will attempt to follow any orders, and based on what I've observed, we'll probably all be dead long before it is actually an issue.
Great.
Sounds good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
What is the name of your ex-wife's new boyfriend?
You can talk directly to me.
What is the name of your new boyfriend?
Elbrand Brunt.
He turns to you, Trade, and
no.
says, Elbrand Brunt? Sounds
Yes.
like a real putz. And then...
Thank you. Thank you.
That's out. He opens the door. You are hit by a wave of calf. You see Mara and Zell both drinking the fancy calf.
Enjoying it?
Yeah.
And I'll
Delightful.
slam the cockpit door closed.
Okay. We'll do a wipe there. You guys, you guys make it to Jangel, no issues. And, unless anyone's going to actively try to thwart Abriel, you can basically refuel and resupply at Jangel without any getting off the ship or anything. No Mishigas. Okay. So, the droid will then say, yeah, it's probably Ukabis is probably the best place to go now. And, Ukabis is the one that you rolled that wouldn't have shenanigans.
Fantastic.
Ukablis. Uukaablis.
Oh, so it's a clone planet.
Basically.
That's a joke for two people in the room.
Yep. Yep. It was a clone planet. All right. So, with that, you have crossed the Markhole Void. You've resupplied at Jangel without issue. Then at Ukablis. Ukablis is a collection of like really high cities, kind of like just like over mist. It almost has a cloud city feeling, but you can't see some mountains in the distance. You're told that the ground area is actually like not such a great place to go to. There's a lot of biological issues down there, but if you're up on these kind of walkways, you're fine. You resupply. This is your last stop before Exokron. Fujola will tell you.
Chiefs, are there any dangers on Exokron we need to worry about?
Dangers on Exokron, there are certain rugged areas, but the more dangerous part of Exokron is getting in. And of course, if you are not cleared to be there, there are planetary defenses that might attack.
Like what?
Well, there are certain, to keep the planet pristine, they have orbital stations, so that if any unauthorized ships try to access they are destroyed. Typically, you leave space-worthy vessels outside of Exochron and glide down in older types of air vehicles, but there are one or two spaceports on Exochron that allow vessels to land in designated sort of techno zones.
Is there a way that we could go in undetected or in a shield of some kind and be a little bit more not following those rules?
To skirt the quarantine. Wow. Going really low for this droid. There are certain smugglers who bring certain clandestine items, even vehicles, down to the surface. A few people, despite the cultural prohibitions, do in fact have speeders. So there must be routes, must be means of doing so. In other words, I would believe it is possible, but I certainly do not know them.
Would it be something that someone could do the calculations to figure out, or do we need to have people on the ground to figure out?
You could certainly try. R2?
My knowledge of, say, the Skywalker saga and one Han Solo and Lando Calrissian
Sure.
lead me to like know anything about where like typical like smuggling routes might be in a situation, like just like the most obvious ways in which we would go about it.
This is a harder thing because you're trying to. This is like trying to go onto a planet to avoid detection onto a planet that is like trying to make sure no ships go down that aren't authorized. But yes, there are better routes than others. You have to be very good. You have to fly at low to no power. You know, you have to, like, in some cases you need to like slingshot yourself around something and try to have very little sensor reading. Honestly, the difficulty of this will be higher because this is a place that seems to exist mostly with like with airships and things. So that might increase the difficulty, but I will say certainly, like, 600 years ago, a guy named Han Solo totally would have tried this. So sure.
Is this something 600 years ago Mara Jade would have attempted?
I mean, if the Emperor had told her you must infiltrate this planet, absolutely.
But like skills-wise,
Skills-wise, yes. I would say that if you guys want to go in if you want to go in unannounced, there are two things you'll need to do. One, you will need to tell Fujola this. And Fujola might say, I'm out at that point. Send me my money. I'm not going to try to sneak into this thing, but I've gotten you to where you're going. And then, yeah, you'll want to sort of figure it out from there.
Mhm.
I mean, it might just be easier just to do the normal thing.
Could I just hide us?
Zell trying to hide the entire ship, that will take a little bit more of a force point situation. You'll need some higher or whatever, but I do once again forget how ludicrously overpowered this character is. So yes, I'll say that turns this into like, this turns it from like Ocean's 13 to like Ocean's 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
could it be something that between Zell and I we could maneuver? Him cloaking and then me maybe piloting and skirting around things.
Yes, I think that Train wants to be the pilot for this. But yes, I would think that I will definitely say that between Mara, Zell, and R2, that's a pretty good lineup of people who could attempt to navigate a path, cloak the ship, and fly it delicately to try to get down to this planet where ships like yours are not meant to be.
This is why we're here. We cause shenanigans, but this is what we do best. It's true.
And Train, so basically Train is just saying he doesn't want to do this.
It's up to you, but I'm saying this is a route we can take,
And like,
we could do it.
What would the time difference be? Like, how much longer would it take to just go about it than the normal?
The droid will say, I don't believe that going down through normal channels is necessarily that much more complex. The normal channels might add an hour or two to your descent, and certainly to your ascent again to return to your ship. It would appear to me that making such over-the-top, heist-like preparations to go down to this planet in this fashion would primarily be a means of avoiding detection and oversight from the Exochron Navy, the Royal Air Navy of Exochron, and to generally have autonomy. Is what
Would you rather alert everyone of our presence as we arrive, or go in quietly and stealthily and find your children in a way where it's not announced that we're there?
Well, but if we announce that we're there, we're just as unassuming. We're even more unassuming than if we were to sneak in and get caught.
True, but it could also put them at further danger of hearing that their parents have arrived. If certain individuals, like Odd and Lynn, finds out that we followed her here.
Who? Who's that?
Oh, did I not tell you?
No.
What else have you gotten us into?
Oh, right. That was when when I went unconscious? I was asleep for a few days.
Hey, you met the strange man in the alley.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I forgot. I thought I don't know if she's there. It was just an assumption that it could be possible. Remember the woman with the robotic
So then why are
arm?
you so concerned about her finding out that we followed her if you're just here on a hunch?
If I may, can I just replay the video I have of her literally ripping people's hearts out?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is Arden Lynn.
Yeah, that's Arden.
Yes.
He shows the video of you've now the name Arden Lynn. Jeeves will say, "Oh, she seems. I sure wish she would do that to this guy Elbrand. Am I right?"
I sacrificed some of my power for information on this woman because she is the reason why I'm here. And it's mysterious that she's also involved in all of this as with your children, and she's a clearly dangerous person. And I've dealt with her in my past or my present. This is my future. I don't understand this timeline thing anymore, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying it might be in the benefit of us to go in under the umbrella of stealth instead of announcing our presence and applying a sneak attack on finding your children, because this person is very dangerous, as R2 has reminded us so visually.
We're not going to be going around the streets putting up missing children posters.
That's fair. I agree. I'm just saying that there are two routes we can take to go in stealthily and unannounced, or announce that the Count's vigor has landed here, and whoever has your children could link that together to you and know that you've arrived to try and find your children and then hide them further. I don't know.
There are benefits and shortcomings to both of those options. Can I roll a coordinate to see what option might have less risk?
I mean, I think this is really just a judgment call on your part. It is, do you want to, the only thing I'll mention, just because I know that, and it's a thing because there's some stuff that has similar names in this, I understand. Look, a very good case can be made in either thing. This is based on what Jeeves has told you more at Exocron. It seems to be like a pretty like strict society. You also, I just do want to mention though, this is Exocron. Maybe this is Exo. But maybe Ardenlin will be here, you're not sure, you know. I imagine, Abriel, every time you sit down, you're like, maybe my kids will be right here, and, you know, then you look out, it's a muddy street, and you're like, nah. But, like, so the point is, maybe this is a place where you need to be very careful. This is certainly a very hidden, mystic place, so maybe being super stealthy and not drawing attention to yourself and gathering intel without being on any official reports or being at the mercy of, you know, because...
Right.
The other thing that Jeeves has indicated is if you go down to this planet, you are leaving your ship behind. You are basically taking a hang glider down, you know, 50,000 feet or something, and then to get back up, you have to be raised up in a balloon to get back to your like platform. So you're losing.
And would we have the
ability
resources to do that without officially going in to one of the landing pads? That's another thing, you know,
like resources to infiltrate and find secrets and find things.
No, to get down like out of game. Like, would we, like, if we were trying to sneak in, would we be able to have access to one of those little hang glider things down?
Well,
we would just park.
No, we would fly in. We would basically put it in neutral. And then
that's what you were saying earlier. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we basically put it in neutral, and between R2 and I and our piloting skills, we'd be able to
Zell
like...
crowding you can get down without going through the proper channels and being either stuck there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying, like, the three of us are here because we have these really niche skills that could actually pull this off, and that's why
my brain was not comprehending how to get to. Okay,
no, that's totally fine. No, and it's like I totally get the clarification. That's why I was like, the three of us, like, these are our skill sets. Also, like, I'm also saying under the cover of stealth, because what I do is I like to infiltrate things sneakily and find out information on the DL.
Yeah.
And this is, so I'm trying to fight it in my character's point of view of like, this is my expertise. I could do this. But if you don't want to do it, it's fine. So this is,
Got it. Okay.
My side of the argument is like, I'm really good at this thing. Let me do this thing.
Okay. I can't make this decision. Train.
This is your children. Again, we're here because of you. We're happy to do whatever you guys think is the best route to take.
Right, and if you think that that woman is here,
it's possible.
There's potential that she could be with them.
I mean, she was at... Sorry, I don't remember the name of the other planet that when we found the footage of her, but insert planet name here.
Oh, God.
Isn't that Capriole?
Capriole, yeah.
She was in Capriole when other people were taken, and there's a link to it. I'm just saying it's suspicious, and I have a link to her as well. And that's kind of my new personal stake in all of this, is what is that puzzle piece there? And maybe I can go back to my time. I don't know. I kind of like it here, but it's, I don't know. I think it's better if I go back. But regardless, I'm just trying to say that it might be best to do this quietly and stealthily and find out what we can have and have the ship at our disposal as a quick get out if we need to. But again, it's your call. It's your children. If you want to do it by the proper channels, that is a totally fine plan as well. I just might stick to the shadows and I might do my thing quietly behind as you guys kind of declare yourselves. I could also sneakily do what I need to do, find out whatever information that I can with Zell probably, and we can probably still do the stealth part of the mission just a little bit more with everybody else. There's ways to do this, is what I'm trying to say, but I'm kind of thinking it might be best to sneak into the planet. Why not? Sounds fun. But it's your children. You're the leader here. I trust your opinion. You have the most leadership experience and cost-effective analysis that I do not have. My brain is immediately, let's sneak in, let's do this. So I trust your judgment.
That has its benefits in certain situations, potentially this one. God, I wish you had gotten me that damn calf, Jeeves. My head is killing
It's quite
me.
delightful.
I
So, slurp some calf. However, I drink things through the brief.
Trained
straw.
Yeah, a little fun straw.
Oh my god.
Are we... I need your input, Train.
You're muted, Train.
You're muted.
Train,
You're muted. But that was really great acting.
You were really like it was very.
If she is down there, then we would need to get out there quickly. So, fine.
We need to inform the other ship. And what are we going to do with the illusionist? Or he's another one. Wait. Can he cloak people? Like
who
Zell
cloak
can?
people?
The other...
The
Ratchet
murderous
the
guy you
Filthmonger?
invited to
Yeah.
come with us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Ratchet the Filthmonger that I believe, Zell, you told everyone your realization, right? Yeah, he's gone. He is...
Oh.
He basically used you guys to get into the Pimbrellan Empire, which he said he couldn't do on his own. And then Zell is pretty sure remember when you guys saw a ship take off in a commotion at the adjacent thing? Zell is pretty sure he stole that ship.
Wait, did you tell us that?
He did.
Yeah, I was
That
drinking the coffee and I dropped it.
Yeah. He dropped it as a like...
Yeah, he had his
like Kaiser Soze moment, yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
It's fine, it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I should have...
It's fine. I thought I told everybody things that happened after I went unconscious.
I swore we had the Ardlin conversation, but I'm lost all threads.
It
at this
was
point.
R2 and Mara had a
Those did, not
conversation, but
everybody
it
else.
wasn't with
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody
no.
else.
Also, doesn't it seem like it's like 9:48 at night right now?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all sort of tired. So the point is, it sounds like you guys are going to undertake a sneak to Exocron plan.
Let's do it.
Is that correct, R2?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I would classify this as like codename shenanigans. But
Okay.
yes.
I was good. Yes. Let
So,
the shenanigans begin.
We will not be calling this mission that.
If you
Not at all.
contact Fujola to let her know this, you do hear a sigh. And this also will kind of say conveniently, you guys emerge from hyperspace and you see a giant gas cloud, like a giant nebula ahead of you. Fujola will calm you. All right, so this is the part where things get tricky. I have minimal sort of routes through this, but I'm a very skilled pilot, so I will recommend that you sort of try to follow me to whatever degree you can. If you wish to slave your ship to mine, I can. This would keep you on a much tighter vector behind me, but we should be able to reach Exocron, and I have been given all of the information that we need to offer them to explain our purposes here, and then we will be putting into one of their orbital platforms, and then we can transfer down to the planet.
Who's gonna tell her?
It's just silence.
If you look at the translation, it will say, "Master, I think it might be time to get out of the refresher."
What do you mean in this context?
So translation to your English, and I'm telling you to shit or get off the pod.
Right, yeah, but I mean, like, what do you like in like what?
Let's
Like,
get on with it, man.
Jola. We how much? Oh God. Do you want? If we, in theory, if we were to do something that might be classified as stupid, would you want plausible deniability?
I think what I would be more interested in is receiving my payment. Before you do something stupid, you still owe me half of this. We have not yet reached Exochron, but we are so close. If you insist on doing something stupid now, such as, I don't know what this is, like charting this. Also, fun fact, it is a proto-star gas cloud. So that's what it is in. So if you think you can chart this on your own, or you're going to be doing this in some odd way, I would definitely prefer that you that we dock momentarily and you give me the rest of.
This would be after we emerge from that. Would it be possible to dock before we emerge on the other side?
Within the protostar cloud? No, that would not be advisable.
And then Philip, as soon as like we know that, do we know that like as soon as we leave the cloud, we'll be visible?
You do not know if that is the case. Although if you ask Jeeves,
I will ask.
AskJeeves.com. Jeeves can confirm that when Jeeves came to this planet before, yes, it's like when you emerge from the cloud, you're visible now. Now, he will sort of indicate there's probably ways to go more dangerously, go further into the cloud where they're not expecting you to come out from, and that's what you guys will have to do for this, plus cloak. You know, what this will require is you're going to need some high rolls at navigation, illusion, piloting, and I don't know, just general stealthiness. We'll figure out what Mara should roll on that as well.
Nothing a handful of force points can't solve, right?
You know, you guys, no one's spent any except for Zell when he did a hilarious prank.
So we'll need, look, we will dock with you now, but if you could still guide us through for the most part.
Alright, so in other words, you wish for me to dock with you now, you're going to pay me, and then I'm going to take you through the protostar cloud.
Do I know if, like, we need her to take us all the way, or if we just need to, like, based on our plan?
You don't need her to take you through it all if you think that R2 can navigate it himself.
Okay, no, in that case, I'll say, I think then we'll dock with you, we'll give you a payment, and then, thank you for all your assistance. We will part ways.
I see. All right. And the gentleman who has been in his chamber since.
Is he still there?
As far as I know, do you suspect he's not?
He gone.
We have reason to suspect he is not.
Well, I was told not to speak to him, so droids have been bringing him food, but all right.
So can you check on him and make sure that if he is there, then we'll take him.
She kind of comes back and says, "Oh, it does seem he is gone. My apologies. Wasn't aware of this. In any case, yeah, you guys can talk.
Yeah, we'll pay.
The most.
Yep.
The chat is very impressed
The
with
most lewd version of docking possible.
Yep.
The most Kevin Smith version of docking possible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think we're good. I think this is.
We're gonna get a what is that called? A mark
Like a community
a
guideline
guideline violation. Yeah, a strike
For ships. For Lego ships.
for obscene gestures with Lego.
That's an LGI budget, baby.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That does actually legitimately seem more likely how we would dock.
Honestly, the way you guys would dock, based on where I've had people coming out of these ships so far, is you would dock like that.
Okay, I take it back. We're gonna go more of the Aronofsky Requiem of a Dream route.
So no, yeah. Oh look, they actually fit. Anyway, so as you dock with Fujola, you can give her the rest of your stuff. I think as you're all sort of standing there, Fujola kind of gives you all a look of like, be cautious going to this planet. It seems to be well defended and have it is very opposed to what they call, a term that Jeeves would have used is plastic societies. They don't like plastics. They're not about the plastic societies of like other sort of spacefaring types. So you pay Fujola the rest.
Yeah.
So you're basically kind of down to, you have no more money. All you have is artwork left on the ship.
Yeah.
So, give our regards to Jacket Girl, by the way.
Jacket Girl? Wait, is that what you've been calling her? That's not a name, you know. She has a name.
So she told me her name was.
Well, I think it is like a HoloNet handle, because she posts all of the videos of her wearing jackets. She has these videos where like, they're called like Get Ready With Me, and it's her just like putting on jackets.
Good God.
Sounds like there's a lot of try-on hauls.
Unboxing of the jacket.
She loves to show off her new jackets. And then there's always like so many posts of every jacket that she films in batches and then releases slowly at different times. So there's other jackets.
I could see Jacket Girl's Instagram feed slowly giving one piece until it is just a picture of her wearing a jacket for like 12
Sure.
posts.
So Fujola will not tell you Jacket Girl's name, and will instead say, "All right, well, good luck. This has been. I appreciate the opportunity to take you to a unique place. I hope that you do not instantly die inside of the Protostar gas cloud."
Yeah, thank you. We see you again. We'll let you know that we didn't die.
Very well. Okay, now, my friends, it is 9 p.m. We could stop now, or we could see if you get to the planet. It is kind of just
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans? All right.
Yeah, we got it.
So, you are at the edge of a gas cloud. Now, the fun thing about this R2 is that this protostar specifically blocks. And we'll say that Fujola gave you the navigational data. Like, that's fine. Okay. So you have like a rough understanding of like some distances. You understand how far into this planet is supposedly located. But it does appear that there's so much just radiation and sensor jamming static that your sensors cannot penetrate this protostar. So like you are just staring at gas. You don't know what's on the other side.
Okay, but I can still attempt to navigate through this stuff, right?
Sure.
Or
It's just difficult, and you will have to rely on her information. And I need to understand, because basically she is giving you the simplest route through this protostar to come out at like the checkpoint.
Look, sometimes my carking nuance gets lost through the translator, Jeeves. If you could relay some of this to these people. Zell, what's the carking plan here? Are you going to cloak us while we're inside the cloud? Because then I can bring us to a much, much easier spot to get to. Otherwise, it's going to be criffing hard.
The longer I have to do it, the more challenging it will be.
So it seems like in both instances, then, Philip, does it make sense that we would be trying to go to the checkpoint that Fujola was taking us to? Because that's going to be a more direct route.
will require better cloaking because it's where there are active sensors. So basically, which do you think you can do better? Do you think you can navigate better, and then come out around the back and then just kind of cloak and just kind of drift in, or do you think you can basically who wants to do the heavy lifting? Also, somebody will need to do the piloting of this as well. And Mara, I want you to make, I don't know what skill it would be, what talent would be, just like the general, like the general logic of this kind of, because your sneak is actually not high for some reason.
It's just
I figured R2 and I would just pilot the ship in between both of our piloting skills, because mine is pretty high for this. So that's why I was like,
I will tell you what, Mara Jade. I will allow you to do this because it is how you would do all your stuff. You can do a search your failings. You're definitely going to need better than normal to give any kind of benefit to what's going on here. And then, of course, during the piloting, yes, you can be assisting and co-piloting there. But just for the overall, because you're kind of the expert at infiltration, so you can weigh in here on which one seems better to you.
Okay, so you want me to roll search my feelings to start?
Make a search your feelings. Would you like to spend any force points to give yourself some bonuses on this?
Yes, I was gonna spend a force point to give myself a bonus.
Wonderful. So roll with a bonus.
It just seems that it's very amusing to me, Kevin, that the hardest rolls, the most ones that are hinging, are on you and me. Historically best rollers of the channel.
Not even sweating it.
They call you to the Bay City Rollers.
It's gonna couple hundreds coming out. It'll be great.
Oh, God, fumble on this, you guys. That would be.
I can't wait for this campaign to end when we just die in this protostar.
Hey, give us some credit.
If you die, you'll probably be reunited with your children.
Hey.
Ooh.
What do we got, Mara Jade?
I'm trying to decide if I want to spend some luck points for a extreme success, because I got a hard success with the roll. So I'm trying to decide if I want to spend
Do it.
How much
20 luck points.
Oh yeah.
How much do you have?
Do it.
I have 71 luck.
Oh.
So I
It also just re-roll.
Or you could spend 1 force point to re-roll.
would I have to just so I understand, would I have to sacrifice the current hard success?
You get to pick whichever one you want.
Oh, then yeah, I'll spend another force point and re-roll just for fun.
And when you do this, you get to re-roll with that bonus.
Oh yeah.
Hell
yeah, I'm definitely doing that.
That's why for important rolls where you guys have tons of force points, I recommend throw a couple bonuses on, because then if you're re-rolling, you're re-rolling 3 bonuses or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh! Fuck yeah! That is an extreme success. I rolled a 9.
Okay.
You could spend very little luck and make it a vital success.
You could spend 4 luck and make it a vital success.
Yeah, I absolutely am gonna spend 4 luck and make that a vital success then.
All right. So with that, Mara, as you sort of reach through, the sensors cannot penetrate this gas cloud, but you can sort of feel it's as you sort of reach out with the force, Mara Jade, you remember kind of infiltration. You remember what you were so skilled at, and you as would happen then, you can feel a path sort of emerging, and what you feel is the optimal route for the insanity you guys are attempting is to go around the planet, emerge from the other side, dead in the water, cloaked from there or at any point. But if you're on the far side of the planet, you can feel like a slingshot gravitational sort of way that you could go through. It'll be a hard thing to navigate, but you are very confident that by doing that will maximize your chances of getting to exactly where you're going and being able to cloak for as little and as convincingly a time as possible. Because it's not just like going out of the checkpoint and cloaking, that's that's like, you know, that's some like anybody could bump into us. Oh, this is bad. You're just trying to come in from nowhere as a, you know, invisible dagger just down to the planet, into the atmosphere, and from there just, you know, fly low, find a place.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Based on what she said, go ahead and make a navigation interstellar or whatever it's called, a stellar navigation check.
So first, I'm going to spend 2 force points to roll with d8s.
Oh, here we go. Now we're cooking.
And I'm also going to spend 1 to throw an extra bonus on there.
Throw an extra bonus. All right, so D8's an extra bonus. Oh, so you have 3 bonuses on this?
Yes, that's
okay.
correct.
So R2 is like, this is where it matters to chart.
R2's cooking.
Perfect. So you're rolling 4 D8s.
I am.
And an 8 counts as 0.
An 8 counts as 0.
Yeah, because it's, you know, it's like just you treat the highest thing as a 0 on the other dice.
All right. That's pretty good. I'm gonna spend 1 to reroll.
1 to reroll. So you're rolling 4 D8s, hoping for an 8 and hoping that your D10 is low.
Okay, that is a little better.
Okay.
So we're just shy of an extreme. Give me a second here.
So the lowest you rolled was it? So you never rolled a 1 or an 8.
I will spend 20 luck to make it a 1.
You don't need to make it a 1. If you make it a 4, it's a vital for you to throw that skill.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Then I'll spend 16 luck.
there we go. Okay. With a vital success, a lot of resources expended, R2, you have charted kind of, you hear what Mara said, and though you can't, your sensors show you nothing, you basically said, well, if this is where they say the protostar mass is, here's where they say the planet is, okay, this is how we should do this slingshot she's feeling. So R2, you have a course. It sounds like Mara is going to help you with the controls, unless Train is going... Train, are you going to fly this yourself?
No.
You can, man.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, so R2, you plug in. Mara, are you going to second him?
Yes.
Wonderful.
I was going to sit down at the controls.
All right, so in that case, R2, why don't you do a Count's Vigor roll?
Okay.
Mara, why don't you do a, like a freighter shuttle roll?
Yeah. And I'll spend a luck point to have a bonus.
Perfect.
I got this.
I'll spend 1 to reroll.
Is that your last one?
That's my last one.
Okay.
We're okay. I just want to see if I can get
Sure,
get a little bit better.
Yeah, that'll do.
Vital. So 3.
A vital. Mara, what did you roll?
I got a hard success, but I'm going to spend another force point because I got him.
Sure, why not? I
Reroll.
get that philosophy.
And now I have the extreme success.
All right, so with Mara's extreme success assisting, basically R2, and in this context, we'll say that like Mara's handling, like all you're having to do is like pitch and yaw, and Mara's handling like the adjustment boosters, because as soon as you guys enter this protostar cloud, I wish I had like a bag of flour I could start throwing up as you know, but as you kind of go through, as soon as you enter, it's just like it's exceeding turbulence. You know,
This is how we lost the tree ship.
Tree ship. I will find you yet.
you really, I mean, actually, you totally can. It's just they're crashed on that planet. On Nathor. R2. With these things, you and Mara managed to do. It is a white knuckle for Mara. It is a white scomp link for R2. And Abrael and Train, as everyone's just hanging out. Zell, even you are like okay, this is intense. There are even, despite how perfectly R2's flying, because you are not sort of going sort of the cleanest route. You do it for a while and you're breaking off, and sort of once you do that, you guys definitely hit some pockets. But R2, sort of the piloting you're doing, and with Mara at the control, and kind of, you guys are really working together very well, the way an astromech and a pilot often would. You manage to, you all feel an intense pull on your side, as you can feel the pull of a star that you are drifting very close to. Looking out of the sort of, cockpit or whatever, you even see this proto-star, just this ball of unformed gas, and you're basically flying through this corona of this, but as you're just moving through, you all feel this lurching kind of that sickness. I don't know if R2 certainly would have. Mara probably has once or twice. Maybe Zell has. Abrielle maybe. I don't know if any of your characters have ever skirted with an event horizon of a black hole, which people in Star Wars do on occasions. But it is even from just kilometers and kilometers away, it is a woo feeling, and you guys are all feeling a not that, but you're feeling that sort of gravitational. Kind of oh man, this is intense, because you're using that power to then slingshot through the sort of gas cloud. The ship is shaking like crazy. R2, you have the you basically have the defensive flying situation,
yes.
Right? So you would not deteriorate it by 1.
That is correct.
Okay, so give me one more piloting roll. Mara, you can do one as well. Of the ship.
I just was I'm just gonna just straight roll, see what happens. I rolled a 3.
That is a vital for you, because you have a 77 in the skill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I'll spend 5 more luck to make it a hard success.
Okay, understood. So basically, R2, at this point, as you guys are pushed over, we'll say that between the vital success that Mara has and your ability to remove conditions, there are moments where you hear the ship buckling, but R2's really rolling it, and Mara is clearly using the force. It's even though she's not making force rolls, she's clearly force, through this.
Right. Yeah.
I definitely let out a total woo girl woo at some point, being finally something fun to do.
Yeah.
Look, I just have a question. I'm gonna just make a thing. Not to step back in time, but in regards to now, this is pod racing. Would a race against time technically count? That we are in.
I so understand what you're saying, and I am willing to be very whatever about this, but this is a stealth. This is not a race against time. You're not. You guys are just no. This is not a.
I had to ask.
All right. So.
I can't believe I rolled a fucking 3. That's so crazy.
With that, Zell, you understand that you've been your queue is coming up. You guys are it's shaking like crazy, and then suddenly your ship R2, will be rolled in with what you and Mara kind of both simultaneously. You two both just cut engines and cut lights, and the ship is just drifting at great velocity sort of towards the planet. You do see orbital stations even on this side, kind of on alert. Zell, at this time, because you are trying to sort of cloak a huge thing, because typically your Witch Knight stuff is kind of it's not this size of a thing you're cloaking.
Yeah.
However, one thing that will help you is it becomes less insanely difficult to hiding. Just kind of being I'm not here is easier than I'm a this. So, with that in mind, go ahead and you're going to need to expend 3 force points.
Okay.
To sort of do kind of something of this size, and go ahead and make a thing. You definitely want to roll. You definitely want to do good on this.
I will spend 2 more to give 2 bonuses or 2 extra.
Okay.
So So that's 3 bonuses.
Bet you're at this moment. I bet you're like, I'm glad I took those extra force points.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 bonuses.
Then we will spend 1 to reroll.
Okay. So 4D percentiles, and you're getting to reroll the other one. Yep.
There we go. A 1.
A 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So the good news is for you, you needed a vital, but because you were just trying to hide instead, you could basically at extreme would have been enough, but with a vital, the ship, it's interesting. Train. Well, actually, no, not Train. He's not the controls. As Mara is like looking out of like the ship controls, so you kind of like just kind of let go. Like you can see. I don't know exactly where you. I assume that's the cockpit and that's just some nonsense. But like this thing you're sort of looking at, like disappears. You don't even see. Like you all see yourselves within the cockpit, but you no longer see the ship around, like from the outside of it.
I just immediately imagined Wonder Woman's invisible jet.
So we're due.
So,
Heck yeah.
out of the cloud, in a cloaked vessel, Zell, it's kind of a thing of where you're just kind of like you've got this cloak, you're maintaining it, the ship is not putting off energy, so you're not masking like engines, you're not masking anything like this. All you're doing is just hiding you guys as you sort of swiftly sail towards this planet. You pass an orbital station on one side and the other. Nothing even seems to notice you. Zell, you believe that if they don't turn on the engines, this cloak will basically last you guys until you're, like this will maintain until you're in atmosphere and they can, sort of do what they need to do. That being said, we're going to need one more piloting roll to handle entry and basically trying to like just turn on what gliding features there are in a ship like this. You have kind of automatic shielding that will go in based on how much heat would be in that. You don't think that will trigger any sort of sensors or anything, but it will require a roll. The danger here is not so much that you're not going to die in entry. It's that since you're trying to do it unpowered, if you can't kind of glide this perfectly, you might have to turn on engines and shields, at which point you'll probably be detected, despite the cloak around you. So, Mara and R2. One last.
That is a 4. That is a vital.
Mara?
I'm gonna spend a force point and re-roll.
Okay. What did you roll?
I rolled a fail. It was like a general failure.
General failure. Not a fumble or anything fun. Okay, fair.
No, it was an 85, so it was not a
That's
fumble.
not fun. That's not fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a force point. Re-roll. I got a 99 on my re-roll.
What is your score for this ability?
77.
Okay. So, it's not a fumble, it's only a fumble on a 100.
Yeah,
It's
and I
50.
rolled.
And you rolled better earlier. So basically, you have failed. Mara is no help in this, but R2 with a vital. I'll say a single vital will be enough. Mara kind of, at this point, Mara's just like, you try to do it and like, it's just, this is too crazy. The heat of it coming up. You're suddenly, let's have it be this way. Mara, you're seeing all this heat, this flash. Your mind is going back to that fight with Lumia and Arden Lin.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that green-blue alien once again. And there's just this, like, you just completely, you even, like, you probably, like, hit the stick in the wrong way, but R2 at that point, you just compensate. And you do manage to get in atmosphere.
That's what happens when you roll a vital. You roll bad the next time.
Still cloaked, as far as you can tell. The ship descends from, 50,000 feet, 40, 30, 20. You're now at kind of, like sub-airplane range. Make a luck roll, R2.
That's cruel.
It's actually...
What about Aubrielle?
She's not at the controls.
Success. I rolled a 20 after I said so.
Okay. So as it happens, I also sort of should have asked this. You're not using active scanners right now, but
No.
R2, you can see there are a few cities here and there. There's one large settlement that seems to be like on one side of this kind of like jutting mountain range, and there's like grassy fields on the other side. There's the city kind of at the base of the mountains. Also, as you guys drift, it is fun because once you get to around this altitude, you do see dirigibles and airships moving through the sky, and you're just cloaked falling through those.
Cool.
So there you go.
Cool.
My point is, R2, where is it you want to be setting down? With a luck roll, you are not coming into it. You're in a perfectly acceptable area. Kind of a, you can kind of go to, if you want to go to a major city, you can. If you want to go like a good bit outside but near, if you want to go to whatever. If a fourth person wants to be like, let me see what I feel like doing. It's what basically you're free to kind of like drift in whichever direction you like.
Well, now I want to feel.
I mean, I can let the Force users feel some stuff out, but my instinct would be to put us down within a reasonable walking distance for the organics, but not with
Of a major city.
Yeah.
Understood. Well, Mara's freaking out. Zell's concentrating on cloaking. You can just make that call, R2, no problem.
But I wanted to feel thing.
Well, go ahead and make a search your feelings roll, Zell.
No, it's fine.
No, make one. That's fine. Because we all know what you're really looking for here.
And hard success.
Hard success. You reach out. Zell. As the ship kind of drifts down and R2 is turning on just some kind of like thrusters and low power things to kind of land at a kind of secluded little area amidst very like true, like very lush, sort of a very beautiful, naturally kind of like robust planet. As you land, Zell, you reach out and you can feel that former sorcerer of Tund. You feel Ratok's presence on this planet.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Do you inform the others?
Yeah, once we're down.
Perfect. As you feel that presence, knowing that you must have been beaten here somehow by a short degree. That is where we'll end tonight's episode. On the planet of Exokron.
Shenanigans!
How many times have Abriel and Train seen their kids? 0. Therefore, this episode, as far as Lauren is concerned, a waste.
Failure.
Thank you all so much. That was a very fun infiltration route from the non-parents in the group. I guess as you guys land, Jeeves will sort of just remark, "Oh, we're not dead. How improbable."
Appreciate your enthusiasm. Jeez.
Okay.
The best for life.
Can I do an eternal illusion over our ship once we land, or is that for next session?
Let's do that next session, but remember to do that,
And-
because I don't think they've seen you do that yet. That's going to be rad as hell.
Can we canonize the maneuver we just pulled off and maybe invented as a jade drift?
A jade drift? I guess you can call that a jade drift.
Like a smuggler's reversed or a sabak ship?
Sure.
That's nice.
You're not going to give credit to the droid, so it seems like I should give it to you. One of us should get credit.
Well,
One
that
of us
was,
deserves it.
that was great. Cool. R2, Zell, and Mara, how many force points does everyone have left? Just for each of you. 0 R2.
2.
2 for Zell.
I only have 5 to start.
4 for Mara. Yeah. They spend a lot of force
Good
points.
lord, how many force points do you two have?
I think
I use
I have-
7.
He used 7 of his 9.
I only used
But you
I only
7 of
used
9.
5. I only used 5 of 9.
Well, on that point, friends, thank you so much for watching. This was exciting. I'm very excited to see next week. You guys are on Exocron. You're finally there. In my brain, I was ready for a whole Exocron thing today, but instead, we had to.
We
make
got
a droid.
shenanigans.
We had to have on-ship shenanigans. But I'm glad we made it to Exocron. That's great. So next week we will see this strange planet with their airships, their air force, etc., etc. Thank you so much for joining us for this. Tomorrow, it's back. Gray in the Dark. Our noir game returns after a long hiatus of murder mystery shenanigans. We're now back to other noirish murder mystery shenanigans. They have entered the Fairylands, the inversion of their noir city. From San Termino, they go to Finis. So it's gonna be really fun. Excited for that game. Join us on Friday for Blood from a Stone's return to Merkshire, where nothing big is going on at all. Sarah Quill didn't just drink the blood of the listener in the attic or anything. Then on Sunday, more Wretched Hive. Week from today, this game. So 7:30 for all those. Thank you all so much. This has been awesome. Go to our Discord, follow us here on Twitch, etc., etc. Thank you, players. Hey, who feels inordinately tired right now?
Couldn't tell you why.
I've been feeling weird.
I have a lot of feelings towards time and tiredness lately.
Yeah.
Remember to vote.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Definitely vote. Well, on that note, thank you so much for watching, my dear friends. You are amazing. And until next time, get ready with Jacket Girl. And the Force will be with you always.